Tonight, from Las Vegas, Nevada, Super Bowl 58.
So it all comes down to this. We are ready, and Super Bowl 58 off and running from New Orleans. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of the Super Bowl will begin at the 25.
Let's go. 60 Bison. 60 Bison.
31's the mic. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Good sign here early. Everybody on offense there up front in the backfield in sync on that play.
So much talk about what do you do to neutralize home field advantage? Well, teams that run the football effectively, they often have a way of neutralizing it in a big way when they have those types of runs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, check. 3 down.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. On second down, it's Walker. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Back to Walker on 1st down. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down.
They run again with Walker. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
This time they'll throw it with Howell. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
31's the mic.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 43 yards rushing for him now on their opening drive of the Super Bowl. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
31's the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run. 31's the mic.
Al down to throw it. And it's caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this is going to be returned from the middle. And oh, deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
And now here is the offense onto the field as their first involvement will be a 2-point conversion attempt. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. That right there makes up for that missed extra point they had after the first score.
Yeah, they went ahead and got back to level by going for 2 and having the normal amount of points, so that works out pretty well for them. And if you're the kicker, don't worry about it too much. Now they've got back to where they want to be, he'll trot out there for the next one.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Waiting. 40 got. 40 got.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. You look at this Super Bowl, the second appearance for this head coach. The first one did not go as planned, as we all know. But what do you think he's learned from that first go-around?
He learned how much it hurts to lose, and that's what you hear from coaches so often. They don't remember the wins as much as they remember the losses. You can talk about the media, the scrutiny, the hoopla, but once you've had to shake a head coach's hand and jog off the field and know you have to face the media, face your fans, face your home life, knowing that you've lost the Super Bowl, that hurts big time, and you're going to do everything possible to try and prevent that from happening again.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Stafford on third down. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, The coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Hey, we got four. We got four down.
To throw again on second down. Stafford. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Delaney! 53, Mike. That's right, baby. They don't want it. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Omaha, ready, move. Check 26, check 26.
Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Nick Chubb stops short. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 14-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Viking 18.
Check 3.
A give for Walker running right. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Here we go, Shaq. Hustle. Cowboy 80. Kill.
Chef.
Now a draw play. It's Walker. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 60 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays. Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, here we go. 31's the mic. Watch the screen.
Panther 11.
I'm coming.
2nd and 10, Howell. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Watch for flag. Watch
They'll try for the first with Walker. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. That's complete right around the 8. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
2nd and 5 from the 8. Howell completing the quick throw out wide. 4 catches already here in this Super Bowl. He's got another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. We got three, fellas. We got 3.
Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Browns drive about to get started. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Move. Hey, 4 down.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
4 down. 21.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Set. Lady. Let's go, Heavy. 11. What you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something. Give me something. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Here we go on fourth. Stafford. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Let's go now. Panther 60. Panther 60. Hey, check that. Check that. Street.
Howell throwing on first down here. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch twist.
Running left is Walker. And some room to maneuver. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 81 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Walker with another carry. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Get that quarterback.
31's the mic.
Oh, you got deep?
31's the mic. You don't want it? You don't want none of it. Give me that. Pick up the ball. 31's the mic.
Here's Howell. And Lockett with a grab over the middle. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the route is on here in this first half. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. The Browns drive about to get started. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Oh, Odell Beckham Jr. with a diving grab. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
Mike 19. Mike 19.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Mike 19.
Throwing is Stafford. And that is caught downfield by Beckham. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Left side here to Sanders. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll make it second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Mike 19, Mike 19. Defense wins championships, baby. Mike 19, Mike 19.
Again, it's Stafford. He completes it to Beckham. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. York able to send this one through, and that drops the deficit from 28 to 25. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just 1 play.
31's the mic. It's been a long day for you.
19 Lion.
Hey, defense.
They'll go play action. Howell. He'll buy some time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl.
Let's go, fellas.
Hey, go 20.
Tight end left, tight end left.
Zebra.
4 down.
On first down, it's Stafford. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
40 got. 40 got.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Watch tight end.
Omaha, ready to move. 20 high.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Snap! 280!
Man left, man left.
Stay 50, stay 50.
We got 4.
On fourth down, Stafford. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on fourth down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on fourth down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on fourth down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions, because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Tight end right, tight end right. 3 down, 3 down.
Now they go play action with Howell. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Buffalo 18.
16. He likes to go for the sideline. I'm coming. 31's the mic.
It's coming this way,
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. To the right side, this is Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
31's the mic. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
And Walker once more. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Ain't afraid of me. 31's the mic. You ain't going nowhere.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, 34 yards. And the Seahawks are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Browns drive about to get started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Stafford. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Yellow 80! 59!
Tight end's right. 4 down, check. 4 down.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He finds his target, Beckham. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Hey, 50!
4 down.
Stafford on 1st down. Going right back to Beckham here, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Sanders is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety valve.
It looked like 2 well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up. Just nowhere to go where they could gain yardage. How about the defensive guys, though? Did not lose leverage and kept their poise and made a really nice play.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Mustang 19.
31's the mic. I know he ain't got it. 31's the mic. Watch the slip.
Riggs.
Third and long, here's Howell. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
103 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this Super Bowl. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And going right back to Walker. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On the ready.
Hey, man, watch the boot. 31.
Straight ahead, Walker. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The 20. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 8. 39 yards there, a big one.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Hey, we got tight left, tight ends left. 3 down. 31.
Here's Walker. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Here we go, D.
Stay 50, stay 50.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Alert!
19, Mike 19.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Uchenna Nwosu in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. it didn't exist.
And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL.